And we are live.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to another scene of Odessa the Dark Crusade. Um, this evening opens with Thorvald entering the haven, which currently him and Madeline share. He enters the building, and he looks a bit crestfallen, I suppose, a bit frustrated as he makes his way towards the study where he assumes Madeline will be, as she usually is this time of the evening.
You will just like it's fairly standard. Gutraz, the her ghoul that is slightly you found out. Like you've been here some time now. This ghoul is somewhat misshapen. Like she does walk a bit strange, and it's clear that this ghoul is she's built rather oddly. Not only is she big, but she's not like just muscular, but she's like she walks a bit funny, and she's misshapen. Um, you have noticed that by this point, but she welcomes you as usual, and just say, "Ah, Master Torvald, please." And she leads you into the study. And as she leads you into the study, Madeline is sitting, reading as usual. Looks up. Ah, Torvald. Always a good thing. It is regretful that we cannot spend every night together, but it is good to see you. Please, come in.
He slumps down into one of the chairs. Yes. I feel like I've wasted half my evening trying to hunt.
She smiles at you. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Well, perhaps you have been a good little boy. Perhaps I can. Well, if you ask nicely, of course. And she smiles. Um, just wait a moment. And she will go into the back or exit from one of the doors. You know that it's one of the storage rooms. And you can hear her rummaging around a little. And she will just come in with two flasks of. There's no makeup of it, but you can guess what's in them. She'll just say, freshly tapped, so to say. It is harder to get by, but, well, harder to procure. It is from Timoran. It is a timely affair, but in these times it is very useful. And she hands you a bottle.
He takes the bottle, and as he does, he takes her hand and leans in and kisses her sort of at the wrist palm connection.
She just smiles in response and waits for him to drink. He just sits down.
And he will drink. Thank you. You are very generous to me.
Well, honestly, these are extraordinary times, and there might come a time in the, well, foreseeable future, well, this is still a problem, where I will have to have you endure yet another pain. You would have to stave off the hunger as best you can. It is something I did myself back in the day, but for the moment, there is such a thing as really dangerous pressing of the beast. And one should be careful about pressing one's teachings to where it becomes so detrimental that, well, the beast takes over and you learn nothing.
You have been absent from our bedroom for a few nights. You've been busy in Timoran?
Quite so.
He nods.
Regretful, but yes, a consequence of the responsibility I hold.
How are things there?
Quiet and peaceful, considering everything. Quite astonishing, really, with the plague and the looming war. Well, I am surprised it is still so tranquil.
Not quite so tranquil the last time we were in meeting.
Why? Mm.
It was something I saw coming, but I wasn't expecting it to erupt so soon.
Well, as I say to many people, the teachings comes in many forms, and it is not all who are worthy to receive them.
She was rather venomous at the
Mm.
clan meeting that we had beforehand.
Well, that is to be expected. The reason I liked her, well, part of the reason I took her as a student was her passion, and well, her being a female warrior was very unusual. You know that she was fighting when she was still immortal.
I did not.
That was the reason. She is quite unusual. She took up arms. A small city in Spain against the Saladite invaders. The Muslims claimed the city, but she and other women fought against them in the name of their god. But well, such courage, such conviction, it is something I will applaud.
He nods thoughtfully.
And we can all learn in time. If we
It
do not,
reminded me. No, carry on.
if we do not fail challenges and teachings, how would we learn?
It reminded me of an emotion I experienced when I was human. Her reaction.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, some of us are close to being human still, somewhat, and
I do
that
not.
means that certain passions, however might close to the beast, may not be the beast's doing at all. It can be our human side, simply being jealous.
My sire took many lovers. When I was mortal, it wounded me in such a way. But over time, I became accustomed to her ways. And I saw the men and the women that she took hold of fall by the wayside, die, evaporate, vanish, and yet I remained. All but one.
Hmm. Well, your sire is certainly, well, seemingly a domineering person,
She has a weakness.
as we all do.
Her weakness is her ghoul. creature. A girl. Well, I say a girl. It's almost as old as I am now. Very complex beauty. Masara does not let her out of her sight and very rarely introduces her to anyone. She is that protective of her stowed away treasure. It was a creature that she intended to embrace, and I was the unfortunate accident.
But she lives. She lives yet?
She lives.
Strange.
Somewhere cradled, peaceful.
What did this service? Madeline kind of seems thoughtful for a moment, shakes her head a little bit as she just reacts to that. It's you can tell that it's especially the remark about being cradled or being isolated, and that Madeline seems to be very like she almost kind of like wrinkles her nose at it. Almost. You don't need a P&E for that.
So, I will not claim to you that jealousy does not seep into me at times. But it is a pain I've learned to withstand.
Yet another reason I chose you as my student. But, who knows? We will see if it may stir you again. Who knows?
He smiles.
Not that I will actively try to do it, but emotions like these, I have felt them myself. I feel them from time to time. Sometimes we simply think. Our eyes and our indignations about what people say and how close they are run away with us. We think things are going on that is really innocent enough. So, it can happen to me and it can happen to you. What matters is what we do and how we deal with it. How we master the wanting to hurt or to shout or scream. Lose control. And that is what we need to learn. That is what is important.
Yes, I do confess that there was anger in me that evening. Though not over the same situation. I was angry at her striking you.
Well, as you no doubt am quite aware of by now, I am accustomed to pain. Quite a few ways.
It was an emotion.
Hmm.
Without
Indeed that was.
I knew, my logic knows that she could not have harmed you in that way. The emotion spoke first.
And afterwards, when she gave in to the beast, I did not mean to. I felt quite bad for almost commanding you like a child or a dog, simply holding my hand up, giving you a command. I should have given you more leeway. However, the situation, being in the company of two others of neither clan and in another's domain, I said, well, I thought to myself the best way to solve the situation was with no structural damage or personal damage, and I calmed Julia as soon as possible. I hope you can excuse my almost commanding you.
He smiles. I've been far worse things than your dog, Madeline.
Well, that is most definitely true. And she has almost this kind of, like, I know, isn't it cool kind of look or smile on her face when you, which is kind of twisted, but oh well. And she just, by that way of talking, I almost get the feeling you would not mind to be my, well, something to that effect.
He raises a brow. Explain.
Doing what I tell you. She walks closer to him.
He
And
watches.
she has a uh quite fully in, like, I have heard of some even higher lords who like certain things to change once in a while. And instead of giving all the orders, they simply told what to do.
He leans back in his chair. I have heard of such things.
Well, such things you will have to earn. And she turns around. She has this very smug smile on her face. And she will just say, oh, wait, I've brought one of, I know this is changing the subject, but I brought a book, well, one of my books from Timuran. Perhaps you would give it a look, see what you think. I am thinking you might be able to, well, it is a bit more advanced subject, but interesting, perhaps.
He nods. His expression changes. It was originally, I suppose, sort of devilishly intent. And it changes to a look of curiosity.
It is of a book you should read here. Man, it should not leave this place. It is of more, well, unconventional nature. Nothing major. Simply just some theorems or some talk of some subjects that, well, is considered problematic if you are a good and true believing Christian. Some might call it witchcraft, some might call it dabbling in the dark arts. It is really quite basic and quite pedestrian. But I think you might be able to learn from it.
I've never considered myself a good Christian.
Yes. Well, thank the mother for that.
Perhaps it's a result of my upbringing, but I'm far too hedonistic for all of that.
I have met some who are very good people, who I admire who are Christians. But that is because of the person. and the choices that person make, the strength of that person. It has nothing to do whether or not they are Christian or Muslim. She takes up a book, and we'll just she'll push a chair over, and she will just seems to be reading it with you. And it's not like you can see it's written in Greek, and it's not anything like it's not connected to like La Sombra or anything. Like it's not
Mm.
that, but it's just some things that probably would be considered like pop, just quote unquote witchcraft today with like how to do a ritual, which really wouldn't do anything. It's fairly minor, but it's you know, and yeah, she will read it either with you or help you along, just watch you.
It
And she
takes him
has
a
a
while because Greek is not his first language. He can speak it, but it does take him. He does sort of take his time studying it. And he'll read it through. Dancing naked under the moon and painting yourself in goat's blood and that kind of thing.
that is the entry level.
Sounds
Once you learn, you will not need the God's blood. You will need only your convictions and what you bring with you yourself.
I wish some of these books had an answer on how to get rid of the soldiers on the outskirts of the city.
Hmm. Do you know who they are commanded by? This
No,
seems to be a larger problem.
they're causing a significant problem in the Gangle territory.
Well, perhaps if you... She looks, thinks for a moment. Well, if you would ask your Primogen if I could be of assistance, I would gladly help.
I'm not too
I
sure
would.
she would see both of us right now.
Oh, well, the offer of help stands.
I'll
I will
speak to
not, I will not go in uninvited.
I've had a few ideas. To see whether they bear fruit. The plans I've put so far to seed.
But there must be... They do not plan to attack Edessa. So, they must be connected to someone within the city.
He nods.
Well, if it is soldiers, if it is an army, my... You perhaps should ask your Primogen if he has ever talked with or heard of a Ventru named Gerard. Most military matters around the city and, well, in the country as well. He knows of or is involved in. And I do believe that Clan Gangrel is on the opposite side of a war of Clan Ventru, which he is a part of. No? A thing to consider. I have no idea. It might be his adversaries trying to pressure him. Maybe. I do not know. But it is the only one I know who would have a large presence so near the city without the city being, well, at war.
He nods. This is something he did not know.
And
troubles.
moving a army into a place where, if he can say that it is what not his actions, that it is simply the mortals, he cannot be held responsible for breaking domain in any way.
Torvald makes a sound which is a bit sort of like a grunt.
Kindred, well, canite politics. She kind of smiles and shrugs.
Another thing I'm going to have to learn.
Oh, well, you do. You handle yourself well in a tense situation. You know enough. Well, to start with.
Control is something I made it my effort to master. You seem to be an anomaly in that.
Oh, my effect on you?
Something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, that is so very good to hear. Of course, we must see to it that it's not come out of hand, but, well, I must say it has been wonderful reading, but you are right. There is something that we need to rectify. I have been away for some time. Perhaps we should. Yes, I do believe. And she will. Um, she won't force him, but she will just, like, kind of almost push him up the stairs. Not really, but
Push him up the stairs.
she'll just like chop chop, let's go. Like, but she does, like, it's not like something to like get it over with, but she's just like, that's actually true, and he seems quite eager.
Thorvald has this sort of moment where he goes, okay.
Now,
It's a bit sudden. He just goes, all right.
now you did read the book. So perhaps we should talk about this being told what to do. And I believe with that, I think, unless there's anything else, I believe the scene will come to a close.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, players, for playing, watchers for watching. Good night.